Hello. I've run out of fascinators that I have bought. I have 3. I've worn 2. Sylvia wore one. I wore that one. But this morning, right before I woke up, I was awake, but I got up, thinking about this. Okay, what shall I do today? What can I do today? And with not being able to read the news as I usually do, I get to see like a half a word or something like that. I thought to myself, well, you know what? I can't do that very well, but I can make a fascinating fascinator. And this is it. And this one's called Electric Car because I'm an electric car, and if my battery runs out, I brought an extension cord. It's on my fascinator. And this is my sun hat turned upside down. So you just have to, even if you can't see well, look at things differently. How's that? Do you like this? I feel like somewhat of a queen, except for the electric socket thing. Just the whole aura of this big thing. I am Cleopatra this morning. I've done it before in that. I need to come up with some new noises. Yeah. So, it is Monday. The Bengals lost. I knew they were going to lose. They have the highest paid quarterback. Supposedly, I don't know if he makes more than Mahomes. I don't see how anybody could, but they were up 2 in the last few minutes, and I thought, they're going down. They're just going down. Because you don't go into just a few minutes left with the Kansas City Chiefs with just 2-point lead. And my neighbors were at the game. Their son loves Patrick Mahomes. So they drove to Kansas City for the game. And so did another neighbor, I think. So their son was excited, I'm sure, because I saw a picture of him with his Mahomes jersey on. So some people were happy, and I don't really care. I mean, it's more interesting if the Bengals win because the season gets to be fun. The enthusiasm and all that of winning versus losing. I just don't know about them. They missed that so far. I mean, things can turn around. That's the fun part about this. I mean, it's only the second game of the season. They could win a whole bunch or they could lose a whole bunch. Who cares, really? I mean, do I have to get ticked off this morning and upset because another idiot went mental and dislikes Trump so much that he thought it would be a good idea to take him out? I can go from being an electric car, which those back to that. They have been pushing those down our throats. What a farce. This just, you get to be 72 years old and you get sick of these farces that government comes up with. Yeah, I'm not wild about government or big government or them trying to mandate the way we think and the way we live. And you have the global warming. Yes, there's not even global warming. Now it's climate change. There is climate change because people pollute and whatever. Look at India and look at China. Look at some of these countries that they don't play by the rules. They are like the bad guys with, how some people want to take GUNS away from, I'm doing that so I don't get bleeped, away from that right, away from Americans. What's the bad guys always get them, the GUNS somehow. And it's like, okay, you're supposed to be green, and some people have green teeth. That's about as far as I like it. You want the environment to be good, but you don't. Electric cars aren't going to do it, folks. And they're going to make people poor, and they're going to put people out of jobs. And those batteries weigh about 1,000 pounds, I've heard. They can't dispose of them. If that goes bad, you have huge costs. How would you like to take a cross-country trip in an electric car where every how many miles you have to sit and wait for an hour at least to charge your batteries? Hello. Good grief. I haven't even had my tea today. I have it right here. But yeah, I went. This must be the magic hat, the magic fascinator card hat. So yeah, you can't do that switches. Yes, we need to be conscious and make some changes, but for every action there is a reaction. Government people, you gotta think this through at many, many levels, and they don't. It's knee-jerk. It's, what can we do? You know, people are just strange, you know. So what can I say? Enough of that. But I'm not going to be buying an electric car anytime soon. As in, never. You know, if I was really, really rich and I lived, and I could see to drive, and I lived, I only drove about 50 feet from my house, I might get an electric car. Besides that, I'm not. Okay, back to the other thing. You know, the idiots out there who want to take Trump down. What kind of country is this anyway? And have you heard a peep from Biden on any of this? Where is Waldo? I have never seen, you know, the country and the presidents have been wicky-wacky through the years, and there's been stuff. I've never seen such a situation as this. A missing president. And in a way, it's good because he's an idiot. But in a way, it leaves our country a little suspect. And I can't help but think that there are a lot of people, even in, I think there are a lot of people who have power who would just be in glee if somebody did something they shouldn't. I'll leave it at that. That's the state of affairs these days. And since I'm going at it, all the information came out about the ins of Kamala Harris on her debate and her relationship with ABC and the people. And then she did her little softball interview with them. And she's back to the word salad because nobody else wrote it for her. The woman is, I think her train of thought is very limited. She can only put so many things in it at a time, and it goes in a circle. With the smile and, you know, I'm such a good person. I'm going to make this country. She's not going to make it anything. The puppet masters behind her are. I'm on a roll, aren't I? Whether you agree with me or not, that's what I think today. That's all I can give you is what I think today. And I know Trump said that and I missed this part, but I've heard a lot about it. Trump said the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio were eating cats and dogs, which I'm not quite sure where he got his information on that. But that got people up in arms, and my thought was, oh, they're probably eating toads and geese and everything else. In the same vein, you know, they're missing the point of what he said there, what he stupidly said there. There is a problem with immigration, and I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they said Springfield's right up the road from us, you know, 60 miles, if that, maybe. You know, they were flying 20,000, 10,000, whatever, these illegals who had crossed the border and then got their free airplane ride to cities all over the United States. Springfield being one of them. Somebody yesterday told me, and it's a source, but an unverified as far as, do they really know? But they probably read it. 20,000 immigrants were taken to Springfield. I don't know. Sounds like a lot. But you're missing the point if you just get honed in on that 20,000 number, because there could have been 20,001, there could have been 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. It's not right. And you don't have to be right or left to see that. And it's, you know, you don't hear, You hear about the right, the left, the extreme right, the extreme left, but now you have the liberals and then the progressives, and I think, progressive used to be a good word. It's a really good soup. We eat it sometimes. I have probably 10 cans of Progresso. Oh, it's Progresso, not Progressive. But it made me think of that. Talk about a word salad. We have progressive soups in our pantry. I'll tell Nick that's what they are now. So you got all these different factions, and then most of the people out there in the world, in our country, are going, because you don't know who to listen to, you don't know what to believe. You know that when you go get gas that was about half the price 4 years ago. You know it when you go to the grocery stores and you go in for milk and bread that's $75. You know something's iffy or gone wrong. The numbers just don't make sense. They can come out and say, oh, there's such and such unemployment, there's such and such, everybody's doing well. They don't make sense to a lot of us. It's bull crap. Because you know what, folks? Numbers can be made up, and they can be misinterpreted, and they can be misused. And if you don't think that happens, I can tell you it does. And I got this I learned years ago. I had a friend who worked it was a big company, and worked with the comptrollers and auditors with that, and they always had to do their quarterly and annual reports and this kind of stuff. And I said, oh, weren't you afraid to make a mistake? And she said, no, her boss said, don't worry about the mistakes, just be consistent. That is the name of the game. Games are played all around us. Me, with my electric cord and hat, it's a game. It's a game that I'm playing right now to survive. Not being able to not even say survive, but adjust to my new whatever it is. I'm not going to say normal because I don't even like that anymore. It's your new normal. Bullshit. It's something I'm fighting tooth and nail in a way. I accept it for what it is because it's here and with me, but it's not a normal for me. And it's not even a new normal for me because my normal keeps shifting. My normal is like a helicopter that's overhead, and I'm just sort of hanging on to whatever that is. So we've talked about the Bengals. We've talked about the presidency and Kamala. And please no. And I have a feeling that it's going to go her way, because she's got the media in the tank again. The Dems, the Republicans half are idiots because they don't know how to fight this. They got enough infighting to figure out anything. Where's their brain power? And the Dems, those behind the scenes, those Obamas and the Clintons and the Soros and the Pelosi's and the Schumers, they got their act together. And if they don't, they know how to punt. They know how to manipulate. They know how to get what they want. So they are like the Kansas City Chiefs. They can win. And the Republicans are like the Bengals right now. You tell them how to get there. They see what's going on. They know it. And they can't quite make it work. Oh, those were two good comparisons. I'm pleased with myself. Let's see what else is going on. Last week was so busy that I tried not to do much of anything booked this week. I think there are a couple things on the spot, but probably having another friend over for lunch and having some laughs. And I think I'm not going to go into minutia because nobody gives a rat's ass about that. But I thought about getting a keyboard and try to learn. I took piano lessons when I was little. And this teacher we had, she had this yellow, ratted up bouffant do. And she had to have, been a stripper or worked in a bar at some time, because she was do. And I remember the only thing I can remember from her is that she would do this thing, French fried potatoes and a T-bone steak on the piano. But I could never, I knew the notes, I still know, I forget them now, F-A-C-E is face, E-G-B-D-F or something like that. But I could never get from my eyes to my hands. You know how these people who do piano, oh my gosh, it's like magic. How do they know where those keys are? And how do they make both hands work at the same time? I am so right hand dominant that, what I can do today with my left hand, like as far as I think there's a part of my brain that doesn't work. No wisecracks there. But when I try to do both hands on the piano for the chords and then the melody or whatever, they're never in sync. And I just never could get it, but I would love to play the piano or some instrument. Darn stuff. Wait a second. I just can't. I started taking violin lessons when Nick was in Poland one time on business. He was there for a month, so I went and rented a violin. I didn't want to hear what he had to say about it, so I did it when he was gone. I also stripped wallpaper and moved furniture when he was gone too, and repainted, at least halfway. But our neighbor was a very good violinist and viola player, so I started taking lessons, and then my left eye went blind. Got worse. Couldn't see any of the strings, and it really does help to see them when you're learning. So that was the end of that. I probably could do drums, at least one hand of drums, but I don't want to do that. So that leaves me with singing, and I love to sing. I need to learn to sing, but not when I have this throat like this with the coughs and the stuff. Just for my own pleasure. And I can also torment people. I love music though, and it is beautiful. I'm not talking about some music that I don't like rap. Hamilton was interesting in that it was written in the rap style, with the rap in it. And I'm sure there could be some rap that I might like, but a lot of it with me with rap is, I don't like bitches and hoes, and that, to me, you can say what you want about me saying the F-bomb, but I don't like those words. You know how there's, the Real Housewives of wherever, and a lot of these younger people, I see it on different shows, the girls call each other bitches, and I just don't like that. Don't call me a bitch. I don't like that. That to me is more offensive than the F-bomb. That's just, some words you don't like. Wait 1 second, please. But when I listen to the lyrics of a lot of country songs that are very good, and hymns, musicals, romantic songs, just many songs throughout the years, I love the words. That they have beautiful lyrics, and some that are just darn fun. Country songs can be so fun. And I love Jesus Take the Wheel. Maybe I should drive and sing that song. Jesus Take the Wheel. I forget, Carrie Underwood sang that. I won't do that, trust me. But that and Wicked has some really good lyrics. Miss Saigon has some. Just those are musicals, but just other songs. Do you have some favorite lyrics of songs? There's so many that I couldn't even tell you. But when I hear them, and I hear the music, it can shift my mind and heart, and it can get emotional, and that in a good way. But I find so much of today's music so aggressive. It's like the nature of the beast out there, aggression. And about stuff that's I don't want in my world. That it might be the world of the person who's doing it. You see these rappers with the gold chains and their massive incomes, and they have listeners who maybe they're telling their story or the story of their culture, and then they're using their voice. I just can't relate to it, but others do, and so there's value in that for the others, just not so much for me, except for the fact that they're expressing their voice. Some of them I just wish would shut the fudgesicle up, because I don't like it and I don't think that they're really good for anything. So I'm going to let you go right now, because I want to go drink my tea and get going. I have some things I want to do, and I have to think of some more fascinating fascinators that I can make. And that's all for now. I hope, if you like this, I really would I'd love it if you could share it with your friends or tell your friends about me, and to watch the videos, and find me on YouTube at Susan DeBow. And like some of them say subscribe and like or something like that. It's just fun to know you're out there, and that, if you don't like me and you're angry, I don't want to hear about it, but just keep that to yourself. Like if you have intestinal problems and you don't know what others to know, yeah, just keep that to yourself too. So thank you. I appreciate your comments. I am listening to them, because I push a button and it speaks to me, and that's how I'm responding. Speak with microphone. Have a good one. It's Monday morning. No matter what your ailment or what you're dealing with, as my mother said, this too shall pass. This moment shall pass. It already did. And if you're alive, I see the sun, and I'm fortunate because I can still see what I see. There's some massive problems. There are some terminal problems out there. Hardships. Life is tough sometimes. It's tough all the time. It's our attitude that can help us get through it. And if you have to, wear an electric socket on your head. Just don't plug it in. Bye.